Oh.
3 inches is average. NIGGA. Oh, look, you opened up the pussy for the camera. Ha 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 ha.
Now recording.
Hello, and welcome to the Now Recording podcast. We're coming at you with a emergency episode of sorts. We're going to call this one 11.5. There's been a bit of a happening on Twitter, and I'm here with Matt Pitt.
Hello.
And Toxic Piplub.
Penis.
Now, the boys disagree, I think, right? That's why we're here. I think the boys disagree on something regarding this tweet. So we're just going to get the context behind it first, and then they're going to discuss it. We'll see who comes out on top.
Okay.
I'll hand it to you, Matt.
Thank you. Just to correct you real quick, it's not necessarily about a tweet. It's about DMs. But just to go into it real quick and explain the context of the whole situation. So AshReacts, a known person in the commentary community, not a creator, known as more of a person that has been joked about, really likes flamenco, really liked Andy Worski, really liked Keemstar. She's been talked about a lot in group chats, on Twitter. She gets joked about because of how serious she takes this, how emotional she is, and how parasocial she is, if you will. She's really into the creators she loves. It goes back to Tommy C, who Tommy C shat on her once about some sort of clout chasing. She got mad about that, tried to make a video about it, and it kind of just, continued to spiral from there. I've always been the guy who wants to try to give opportunities to people to tell their sides of the story. Therefore, I reached out to Ash and asked, would she like to come on the podcast? She at first was reluctant, and then seemed interested in it, but she would only do it if she would be able to talk to me and Toxic, or me in a private call, to which I negotiated, can I bring Toxic with me? So we talked to her in a private call. We heard her whole story, not recorded, not for a podcast. We heard her whole story, all her whole side of the story, her background, what she's going through, everything. She told us about her issues. She told us about her situation with Worski, Keemstar, and flamenco. And
we're gonna make it all public. Let's go.
No. We're not gonna go. We're not gonna go talk about all of it, but we're gonna talk about certain things because this private conversation was brought to the public in a tweet. AshReacts tweeted in a reply to Sen. She said, "But I still have the screenshots in a video of our conversation, and I already showed them to Matt Pitt, so people know the truth. It's just not your people. Your people aren't interested in the truth." So this private conversation is now public knowledge. This was talked about on stream. I did not realize she had tweeted this, and Edwin mentioned it to me on a Twitch stream, to which I was really confused because there's only 3 people that know about this private conversation. In which I found out, Ash tweeted it out. Okay, that means I guess I can talk about it. She then comes on the Twitch stream to defend flamenco. Flamenco's in a situation with Nicholas Diorio. Don't really want to go into that. That's not the podcast for this. But she said some interesting things on that stream, and it was really taking me aback because I gave her an opportunity to come on this podcast, which is a more chill opportunity, a more calming scenario where we hear her side of the story. But she went into the lion's den and she got shat on, and she got called a doctor. And yeah, I think that's where we're at right now.
She's not a doctor, by the way.
You're saying she's not a doctor?
Nope.
Well, let's go to the DMs real quick. See, she sent us all the DMs in a group chat. I'm going to read every single one of them. This revolves around a conversation she once had with a commentary spurg by the name of Spondyle, who is very mask off. Very, 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 very mask off. Show says a lot of slurs. Is a minor, says really weird shit and all kinds of stuff. But all right, so at some point this goes back a couple months ago. I believe this was during the Tommy C thing, if I'm mistaken. She's going off about stuff. She's spiraling, and then Spondyle enters her DMs and says the first words are, "Send me your toes." She says, line. No. He says, yes. She goes, middle finger. He says, Foot. She says, why are you here? What do you want? He says, for some fucking feet pics.
Is this how Beavers
She-
DMs women?
She says, you aren't going to get any. He says, I'll keep pushing. That's the first screenshot I got. Now I scroll down to the second screenshot. She says, you're not going to get anything. He says, I will eventually. She says, but my sarcastic remarks, no, you won't. He says, yes, I will. She says, ha 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 ha. He says, foot. Emojis. She says, okay, you small whip dick little prick. He says, 3 inches is average, you fucking whore.
I
Now
don't think
send
that's
me
true.
your toes.
I don't think that's true.
All right, and to which she says, I've gone up against bigger, stronger, more influential men who have stalked me for 11 years and have threatened to kill my entire family. Do you really think I'm afraid of a spurg asking for feed pics? He says, N-word, what the fuck does that got to do with some toes?
What's the
She
N-word?
says, N-word with no ER, like short, like the N-I-G-G-A. She says, motherfucker, keep stalking me, you ain't getting them. Kiss my ass. He says, you offering? She says, go ahead. Get down there so I can shit on you.
That's so
He
hot.
says, joke's on you. I'm into that shit, literally.
Good
She
guy.
says, good. You ain't getting much farther after the, and stops. He says, so you keep going to send those pics now, or keep acting like a schizo bitch? She says, no, I'm going to keep acting like a schizo bitch and not give you what you want. He says, okay, so are you a schizo bitch? Good to know. Send your fucking feet. She goes, ha 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 ha. You're a dumb fucker. He says, ha 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 ha. You fucking joker ass whore. Send those juicy toes. She says, whatever you say, ha 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 ha. And no. He says yes. She says, I know what I am. You can't take that away from me. He says, I know you have some big fucking toes you could be sending instead of being an unhinged cunt. She says, it's not unhinged. It's a level of peace you will never achieve. He says, I'm peaceful as long as I get them toes. She says, then you definitely will never be at peace. He says, fuck it. Send full-blown pussy. You're enough of a whore to actually do it. She says, no. He says, yes. She says, no, and why don't you show the world your pussy? And by that, I mean your face, coward. And to which he replies with the picture of his face. Now, the screenshot I have is censored, so I don't see his face.
But she claims that it's a streamer that goes by the
But
name Biscuit.
no, I got it corrected. We'll go into that.
Okay.
She says, oh, look, you opened up the pussy for the camera. He says, I'm a fucking twink. She says, although it kind of looks like a used asshole. Oh, you're mistaking me with someone who cares? He says, I think you do care since you've spent almost 20 minutes arguing with me some rando in DMs. You fucking retard. He says, I might be a retard. She says, I might be a retard, like mentally disabled. What do you have to say now? To which he replies, yeah, all I have to say is, send your fucking meat flaps, you whore. She says, oh, that's so nice. Maybe I wanted to talk to you long enough for you to dox your face, idiot. And she continues, and for you to show the world how ugly you are. By the way, say hi to OBS Studio. Hi, OBS Studio. He says, you know what? Go tweet out that photo of my face, you dumb fucker. I don't give a shit. She says, hi, my external hard drive. He says, post that shit. I don't care. You have the DMs here to show that I give you consent. To which she says, no, I'll just tweet out the entire video of this conversation. He says, sure, that's based as fuck. She says, yeah, it is. You got something to say now? And the last one, he says, so go on, tweet it out, pussy. She says, no, I'll wait until you are done. He says, tweet it out now. I'm done. Last DM. She says, no, I don't take orders from you. To which he says, come on, bitch. I know you don't have the balls to dox my face. And that's the screenshots we have between the two commentary spurgs of Spondyle in AshReacts. So after all of that, my mouth is dry, so Toxic, the floor is yours.
Okay. This is going to be pretty simple, right? This guy slides into your DMs asking for feet pics and eventually nudes and all that, right? And you say no like 43,000 times, and he eventually sends you a picture that doesn't turn out to be him, correct?
Yeah, the picture is of not of a person named Biscuit. The person's name is actually Bagel.
Cool, another food. So he sends that picture, and he's like, tweet this out. I give you consent. Did she tweet that out?
No, she did not.
What? Oh, so the tweet was never made?
The tweet
What
was
did she?
never made. No,
Okay, what did she do wrong?
she threatened to dox someone.
Who gave consent?
Who gave consent? I don't know, but the screenshot still says before he technically gives consent, it was a threat to dox.
But before she did anything with it, he gave consent. So what's the issue? I don't see an issue when someone is going after you, right? And they send you a picture that doesn't even turn out to be them. And they eventually say, tweet this out. And they're basically begging you to tweet it out, right? I don't
Yeah.
think she would have done anything wrong. Now, if he never gave consent or said tweet it out or anything and she did it, that's a completely different story. But by how those DMs went through and played out, I don't see an issue.
Well, here's the thing. We all go about intentions, right? So, yes, was Spondyle being a horrible person in the DMs? Sure. Spondyle will tell you he's being a horrible person in the DMs. Spondyles went to Bo Black's server and played gay porn. This guy is unhinged and he's crazy. He's kind of funny, but he's kind of weird. So my thing is, right? So, yeah, is Spondyle in the wrong? Sure. But when you threaten to dox someone, it takes it to a whole nother level. To which she said, I wanted to talk to you long enough for you to dox your face. So, in that way, the intent is there. Now, you could make the argument that she was trying to scare him, that she was trying to freak him out, which is a tactic that should not be used, no matter the circumstances and the context. You should never jump to dox. If someone's harassing you, you should just block. She should have just blocked this guy. She could have just easily blocked this guy and this conversation would have been over, but she kept it going.
She's a woman.
She went straight to dox. Okay, her being a woman makes no difference in this situation. She cannot threaten to dox somebody and expect for people to be on her side in this situation, right? So the whole argument with Flamenco, right, is she was Flamenco's mod. And the whole thing was with the commentary community, the smaller people in the chats and stuff had taken issue with a woman who she just did it on stream, has said that she threatened to dox this guy. And she's still a mod in a chat. Now, does that mean she should be blackballed from the community? Does that mean she should be taken away? No, but I don't know. Being a mod, I don't know. That's not someone I would want to have as a mod. I wouldn't have Spondyle as a mod either.
I just don't like it. She never did it, all right? Yeah, threatening to dox someone is wrong. But the way they portrayed her on stream for that situation is way blown out of proportion. All right. When she went on that stream, she literally said the quote, I do not have the mental bandwidth to lie. All right. Her saying that alone just means she can't defend herself. All right.
Wait. She doesn't have the mental bandwidth to lie. So she was not dead. So my point of her maybe trying to scare him, I don't know, Toxic. Do you think she was 100% serious when she was preparing to dox this guy's face?
No, I don't think she was going to dox anybody. She didn't do it. So she clearly was trying to scare him because she never did it.
She doesn't have the mental bandwidth to lie, though, right?
Making a joke and lying are two different things.
Wait, are you saying Ash was making a joke about the dox?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
Listen, all right.
He had it.
When mentally ill women get angry, all right, they say things that like, they just get a little out of hand. So I
I'm
don't
just
see.
saying, we had a private conversation with this woman, and I don't really remember what her full explanation of this stuff was, but I definitely remember her saying that she admitted to doing it. And I feel like she said something of the nature that I was angry, I was mad, and I wanted to say something to some sort of like to get a reaction or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember what she said about intentions. Do you, by any chance?
I have no clue what she said. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That conversation was
That conversation was weird.
was
Okay.
long.
Yeah, it was long and was weird. It would have been a great podcast.
You know how?
What?
Well, you know what builds onto it though too.
What's
In the
that?
screenshots she showed us, she didn't even show his face in that, or the person's face in that.
Yeah.
So like she wasn't trying to dox at all. Clearly, it's like from the conversation we had privately with her. All right,
Yeah.
she trusted us to an extent,
Mm-hmm.
and she trusted us to tell us all that, but she didn't show the picture that was sent to her, which like makes me think that she never had that intention. She didn't want the picture.
I think she had that intention for to a certain point because uh, she seemed really mad in these DMs, right? And
Yeah, but if
she
she was
seems
that mad, then she
capable
would
of.
have posted it.
I think something in her told her like this was a bad idea. Also, I'm pretty sure I remember around that point the screenshots were leaked, so Spawn Dial had already kind of like showed like look what this girl is doing, and it kind of turned into a clusterfuck. And then you had someone like Stardust being involved in it and stuff like that. It's hard to remember the full context of this situation. This happened such a while ago, a couple months ago,
Yeah.
longer than that. I'm trying to remember like where exactly what was the situation. I want to say it spiraled from Tommy C calling her out, but I can't remember if that was it or if it was something else. But
Well, I have a counterpoint, right? I've just been sitting here listening to the situation,
okay,
right? So obviously I don't agree with doxing, right?
yeah,
But what about the argument that you could make? I mean, she is a woman, right?
right,
And as much as, we'd all like to believe that we all equal, right? We aren't.
yeah.
Okay? And they are different standards. So, what about the argument that she was trying to hold a creep accountable? Like, what he is sending her in the DMs is sexual harassment. All right?
Bro.
He is
Mhm.
he's harassing this woman in a sexual way. So maybe I mean, is it wrong to put like somebody on blast for being like a sexually harassing pig in the DMs? I don't know. Like how else does a woman keep this guy accountable? Now you can make the argument that yeah, she should have just like blocked him or whatever, but that doesn't
Yeah.
that doesn't solve the core issue. Do you get what I mean?
Here's the thing, Beavers, and I'll answer that question very quickly. She could have easily handled this by screenshotting the DMs of what he was saying and just showing it and being like, look what I'm dealing with right now. Look what this person is saying to me. For her to threaten to show his face takes this to a place where it shouldn't have gotten. She had the easy W in the situation. She could have easily taken the W and pretty much had a chance to really, make it where she was on top. But instead, she decided to go as low as she could with him into the dirt with Spawn Dial. She dug her hole right next to Spawn Dial. So you have this situation where now they're seen as equals. You have Spawn Dial, who is seen as a pure Spurg of Spurgs, almost the king of Spurgs due to his language and what he says and how mask off he is, and the jokes he makes. And then you have Ash, who is seen as someone who has a lot of issues, right? I got shat on the Twitch stream for asking her if she had mental issues. I was trying to prove a point.
Mal's being a therapist.
I was trying to prove a point, but my point was, it's like she can't help herself, and at the same time, I just don't think that's necessarily an excuse. You still have to call it out. And Beavers, my argument stands. Should she be a mod for somebody? Like, would you mod her?
Oh, I'm not defending that part.
Wait, so wait, are you saying that? What are you saying? So, what are you defending, Toxic?
I'm defending everything that has to do with those DMs and how she went about it. What
So
I'm not
you're-
defending
Okay.
is her obsession with flamenco and all these other Keemstar, Andy
Yeah.
Worski. She doesn't need to be on the internet like she is. All right.
Right.
So I don't think she should be a mod. I'm not defending her being a mod.
Yeah. So what you're defending basically is what you're trying to say is that she got a approval from the person that she threatened. Therefore, that if she would have done it, she would have been this would have been okay, right?
100%. Yep.
So she would have showed that picture of a person that wasn't Spondyle, and I don't even know if that person Bagel is a public figure. So I don't even know.
So wait. If Bagel isn't a public figure, wouldn't that be on Spondyle?
Yeah, no, totally. That would be on Spondyle, but it would also be on Ash because she put it out there.
She didn't know that wasn't a public figure.
But she
thought it was Spondyle.
But it goes back to Spondyle. Her posting that picture is a horrible idea. Don't you think? Would you do this, Toxic?
I would not, but I'm also not a crazy bitch.
Okay, well there goes. All right, well she's gonna love this fucking podcast. Jesus Christ!
Hold on, I'll change it.
No, but the way that I'm looking at it, right, is that I'm trying to see it from her shoes. I would never do that, but I'm a dude, right?
Yeah, we don't get as emotionally invested.
Okay, you can't give a woman that kind of out though. All right,
I
like you can't. No,
right?
if a woman fucking keys your hold on, let me make this point.
Because why? No, but here's my point. Let me just because I started, then you can go. Right? Let me just make this point. Okay, the only reason this guy feels comfortable making look when they were going about the toes and shit, right? Like when they were going on about toes and stuff like that. That's whatever. Just block him. He's being a creep. But when he starts like talking about her genitalia and stuff like that, the only reason that guy feels comfortable doing that is because he's anonymous, right? That's the only reason he feels comfortable doing it. So if you're a woman and you know this is the reason why this man feels comfortable doing this, then do you not want to take his anonymity away? Like I'm not saying it's right to do it, right? Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is I can understand how somebody could get to that point because that's the only thing that you can do is you can take this person's anonymity away from them because that is what is giving them this power, and then they can be held accountable for what they've done. You know what I mean? It sounds really gay, but that's how I think. I mean, I don't know, because to be honest, when I was listening to it, they did seem like there was a little bit of a memery and ill and bad faith coming from her side. Yeah, when she was doing it. But I mean, without all of that being considered, if you just take it on the face value, I can see how a woman would get to the point where she would want to like. And also, it's not doxing; it's his face. It's a face expose.
It's a face dox, though. It's
a face dox. It's a face dox. Now, if she went and she was like, "I'm gonna go find your fucking information and blah, 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 and I'm gonna fully fucking," then I'd be like, "Whoa!" But I can't see how she could get to this point based on the situation she was in.
All right. Well, look, I'll say this. Yeah, I think at that point, that's like that's probably the reason why her mod was never taken away. Like if she like started looking for information and stuff like that, and that was out there, and she was like getting screenshots, they were getting screenshots of that. I'm sure Flamenco would have probably taken that mod away.
I don't know,
but the it's just too much, man. It's too extra. It's going too far.
Yeah, I do see that, but it gets to this point. like I've made this point a few times this week actually. It gets to this thing where, you know, it may not what she wanted to do to this guy may not have been right. Okay, and you can hold her accountable for that, for doing something that isn't like objectively right. But not everything has to be right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not everything can be solved by doing something right. Sometimes, like people can be pushed to doing things that are wrong, like to right or wrong. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird situation. It is weird.
Right.
But then
And
again, if a dude did this, I'd be singing a different tune. So you know, I don't know.
so you're
Maybe
calling
I am
yourself a
giving her.
hypocrite. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I am giving her a little
No,
bit
he's just
too
Because
being
much.
like, I
sexist.
mean, like
there.
if a woman, like, let's say a guy like fucking got mad at his girlfriend and like just fucking broke the television or something, and then the woman goes and fucking keys their car and their neighbor's car, and they're fucking just goes insane and like burns the house down, or like is about to burn the house down and the cops come. I mean, she's gonna get arrested, right? She can't just be like, well, he broke the television. You know what I mean? So like the whole thing of the situation is she just went. Oh, I want to say a little, but it is too far. Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, it would a real life example, right? Like you were saying, okay?
Yeah.
Let's say some guy's an absolute fucking pig, right?
Yeah.
And he hits his girlfriend.
Okay,
Okay?
I wasn't gonna go there, but here we
Okay.
go.
No, but here we go, right? And he hits his girlfriend. Now I can understand his girlfriend calling him a pig and blah blah blah. But his girlfriend going out and printing out a picture of his face and putting it on every pole in the city saying this guy's a wife beater, I'd be like, I can understand how you got to that point, but I don't necessarily agree with what you've done.
Yeah.
Do
Okay,
you get what I mean?
I think that's fair. It's just it's hard. Like it's hard to be on anybody's side in this situation because, like, yeah, what Spondyle did was wrong and what he said was wrong. But at the same time, you'd hope that someone could recognize they're being trolled. But I guess I don't think Ash was in the power to do so. I don't think she was realizing how trolled she was. She doesn't know who Spondyle is. She didn't know he was. She did not know he was a minor. I don't know if you got that part, Beavers.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
But at that point,
That matters a little bit.
it matters.
That
No,
matters a
not
little
really.
bit.
Why?
It matters, Toxic.
Why?
You shouldn't be doxing. You shouldn't be face doxing anyone, but you definitely shouldn't be face doxing minors.
Well, I don't think minors should be, going into people's DMs and being
I'll
creeps.
put. Look, I'm just saying. I'll put $20.
Listen, if I
on
can't
the
go into a minor's DMs, they shouldn't be able to come in mine.
All right. Can you say that's a joke, please?
Yeah, it was a joke.
I'm gonna pull you. I'm gonna put you in the Beaver spot right now. Just say that's a joke, please.
Yeah, it was a joke.
I'll put $20 on Spondyle being totally different in 10 years. Not even the same person. Probably even will regret the things that he's saying right now in Twitter DMs and stuff like that.
No, he'll probably have forgotten about it.
Probably
Can I say
forgotten.
something else real
I'm gonna
quick?
sneak up on you. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
don't-
And then I have my one big point that I got.
Ooh, big point.
Yeah.
I don't like how on Edwin's stream, right? It seemed like they were trying to paint the picture that Spondyle was just a spurg. He didn't mean like half the things he said and all that. I don't think that's like a justification for how everything turned out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Plus, she couldn't defend herself because she's kind of. But anyway, what's your big point?
My big point is, and I asked her this on stream. I asked her this in the private call. Did you apologize to Spondyle for face doxing him? To which she replied, yes. So she has admitted to it, and she said she has apologized for it. Therefore,
But
she's allowed.
She didn't
she-
face docs.
For threatening, excuse me. But she's allowed to be criticized for this. And she's allowed. We're talking about a mod, right? We're talking about getting a mod taken away. I know that Ash is taking this very seriously because that just seems to be your personality.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this isn't the end of the world. She's going to treat it like it is, I guess, because she really is emotionally attached to Flamenco, Andy Worski, and Keemstar. And if I were to give her advice, the same advice I gave her in that proper conversation is, you just need to you gotta back up, detach. Like, bro, when she came on that stream and she's like, Flamenco, I sent you. I told you everything. We had this conversation, and Flamenco's like, "Who are you?" Like,
Listen, I'm just gonna say this. All right, it was a private conversation, but I'm gonna say this one part just to paint the picture. Okay, she
Yeah.
was going in there and telling me and Matt how like she was painting this picture that her and Flamenco and her and Orski were really good friends, and she called herself Flamenco's protector
yes,
just because she was a mod. There you go.
yes, yeah. She took being a mod very, very, very seriously to the point where she felt like she had a role, like she was like an like you said, Toxic, a protector, a guardian of the YouTube chat, and it's just a bit much in my opinion.
Isn't that what mods really are? The guardians.
No, actually, this is
Okay,
one
but
big joke.
Beavers, you have all right, all right. I was about to say, Beavers, you've been around servers for a long time. You've seen a lot of mods come and go. If they start calling themselves protectors, what's going to happen to them, Beavers?
If they were a guy, I'd probably assume they're a pedophile.
Fair.
But I'm saying they would get shit on to the point where
Yeah,
they
they would.
probably not be a
Well-
mod anymore.
Well, I wanted to add that, right? I rethought about my opinion while you were talking about like the mod stuff.
Yeah,
I've changed my opinion on her. I still maintain everything that I said previously about like a general case woman,
yeah,
right? But if you are in a position where you are a moderator, now moderators aren't the protectors of the like Discord chat or the community or whatever. But being a moderator means that you are kind of held to a higher standard, right?
yeah,
So if people are spurging at you and stuff like that, you are kind of expected to take it, and I would I not take it, but to block them and stuff, not to be all public about it. And I would expect you to handle it in a bit of a different way than a normal plebeian
yeah.
on the internet.
Okay, so we're 34 minutes in right now. So I guess we'll go with final words. Toxic, go ahead.
All right. Well, let me just respond to Beavers real quick. All right. She's a flamenco mod. They're all a bunch of spurgs, and he said on the stream that he just mods anyone just so they can post links. So I don't know. As like his mods probably shouldn't be held to a higher thing because he'll just mod anybody apparently.
Yeah, I want to be on the record. I don't blame Flamenco in this situation. I've been critical of Flamenco for a lot of things, but in this particular situation, I just like I could see
blame him.
just not really understanding the situation and not understanding how deep this girl goes with the parasocial relationship. And
I blame him.
you blame him
100%.
why?
Because on the stream, they told him repeatedly, they kept on pulling up these times that they was like, we told you this for months. This girl is not normal. She is like not all there. And he was just like, yeah, okay, but she's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, but Flamenco's retarded, dude. I'm just being-
Clearly.
He's fucking retarded. Like, you can tell him anything, he'll probably be like, oh, yeah, really? Oh, wow. Uh-huh. Oh, okay.
You're not blaming him because he's a retard.
I'm giving him the out because he's a retard. I think he could be criticized for so much with the Nicholas DiOrio thing. I think, but in this particular situation, modding some crazy bitch and not really paying attention to people saying she's a crazy bitch, as long as she hasn't done anything in his chats, I don't have issue with her being a mod. But I think now with the whole parasocial thing, and he finally realized by the conversation he just had with her, because the way that conversation went, that sounded like the first conversation they had ever had in a voice chat. Am I right? Like that sounded like their first conversation.
Yeah.
And so I think he realizes now that she was a bit much, and he's unmodded her. I don't know how well she's going to take that, but yeah. I think I don't know if Flamenco's necessarily. I think you can criticize him for it, right? And I feel like I feel like there are criticisms, but this is not the one I'm going. That's not the hill I'm going to die on when it comes to my criticisms to Flamenco.
I stand by everything I've said. I blame him
I
for
really
not
don't
unmodding.
care.
Shut up. I blame him for not unmodding her months ago whenever he was initially warned about this multiple times. I stand by what I said about the DMs and how she went about it for the most part. And yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So my final thing is I think she went too far, and I think she's continuously digging a hole the much she does this stuff when she does stuff like this. Here, out of nowhere, she joins the stream. Like, she told us that she doesn't like doing these things, and that's fair. Like, she's got her issues. I don't want to delve into all the stuff she has, but she's got stuff she's dealing with, and I wish the best for her in that case. But I felt like the environment she went into, she knew she was going into the lion's den, and she told me she was doing it for Flamenco. She
Do you
said, "I
think
did it
I
for
was going to
Flamenco."
say that? Do you think she went on the stream because she had an opportunity to like talk to Senpai?
That maybe it's like she
no.
saw, but here's the thing though, she went on that stream for Flamenco, but she kind of like threw Flamenco under the bus as well, because Flamenco was saying like he had no idea really who she was. She's just a mod, and she comes in and she's like, "Yo, I can't lie, Flamenco. I have no way of lying. It's just not in my power. So you need to tell them what's going on. Like we've talked before." And Flamenco's like, I got one. I responded to one of your DMs. Like he went back and like went. So
Yeah.
I don't know about
She-
that though. Like, if you're self-aware, right, that you are, I feel like if you can't lie, right, you wouldn't be self-aware of the fact that you can't lie. I think once you're self-aware of the fact that you can't lie, then you definitely can lie.
well, it's probably a saying, right? Like a George Washington thing. George Washington chopping down the cherry tree. I can't lie. I did it. You know. So
Maybe she. No, I think she's more referring to like some mental disorder that she
that I thought
has
she was more.
self-diagnosed herself
That
with. She's
that
like,
or
I
maybe
can't lie. Like I've
that
got such severe autism that I can't lie. Well, if you're aware of the fact that you can't lie, then you can lie.
yeah.
Because a person that couldn't lie wouldn't be aware of the fact that they could lie.
Yeah. That, and I thought it was like a moral thing as well, but I think it's also like she thinks that, I think what she's trying to say is that if she tried to lie and she got pulled into like a voice chat trying to lie, she just wouldn't be able to perform that because she doesn't have the mental facilities, I can't to perform that task. Like she just can't do it. She's going to get flustered and she's just going to roll over. I think that's what she was trying to say.
Maybe.
Yeah. I want to point out, Beavers, you said, do you think that she went on the stream because of Flamenco? I don't think she did because they were, I think Nick or someone already brought her up because they were going through Twitter and apparently she called Nick a Jew hater or something. I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But they brought her up and like started roasting her. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, dude, she's. I tell you what, I follow her on Twitter, and I got to be honest with you, she's got an entertaining Twitter account, man. Like honestly,
she's not ugly.
Okay, well, I didn't. All right, that's. I'm not going there.
Can I not
You can-
empower women?
No,
Is that
you
what you're
go-
against, Matt?
No, I'm not saying that. I just don't want to like. I don't know.
Is that
Like,
what
that's
this is
all
about?
you? Toxic. That's all you. You want to simp? You can simp. I just
Okay.
want to say that I just think her Twitter account's entertaining. I think she's entertaining, man. I think she's I think she's a character, if you will, and she, you know, a lot of the commentary community is like an ecosystem, right? We thrive off of weird stuff happening, weird people doing stuff. So when she makes weird tweets, people screenshot it, they share it in group chats, they laugh, and it just kind of keeps rolling the community around. You know, rolling through the community like an ecosystem. So the little feeders like us, we're feeding on the small Twitter users who are Spurs, right? And then the bigger ones, the YouTubers, feed on us, and then the bigger ones feed on them. You know, it just keeps going.
We're really punching down right now. Oh no.
Yeah, bro, we're. I have one leg. I punch wherever I want to.
Yeah, I have one eye.
So at the end of the day, my message to Ash is basically, you had an opportunity to come on here and you declined. And still, you declined, and we respect your decision. But the main thing we wanted to do was give you an opportunity to tell your side of the story uninterrupted, without people talking over you, and being able to understand what you're coming from on your situation. Now, you said a lot of the things in our private conversation that I wouldn't say that kind of made us hesitant on even trying to do the podcast, because some of the things you said on that private conversation, if you were to say them on a podcast, you would have gotten roasted beyond belief. And we told you that to your face. We told you, if you say the things you said in that private conversation, you will get roasted, and you should expect that. And I don't know if that maybe scared her off, but I just think going onto a stream with 300 people and with Edwin and Nick and Flamenco, there's this huge debate going on, and you just pop in, and this is the time you're going to talk. You haven't, come on anywhere else. This is where you're going to talk. I just feel like, man, that's a rough situation. But I respect you. I respect you for fucking trying. You know, I respect you for at least trying to explain your situation. Although I disagree, and I think I do think that I do have respect for the fact that you went on there. But I think you should understand that people are going to shit on you, and you have a hard time understanding that this happened, and you lack the self-awareness to know that, like, when you say stuff that's weird like this, it's going to be criticized. You know.
I think the invitation's still on the table.
Yes, Ash, open invitation. We will hear your side of the story, and we will give you a fair shot. And we won't be weird, right, Beavers? Right, Toxic? We won't be weird.
What do you define as weird?
Just don't say anything weird like what you've said on this podcast. I don't know.
What did I say that was weird?
I don't know, dude. It's 5:30 in the morning. Give me a break.
Beavers, you got anything?
Nope.
All right,
Okay.
cool. Promotion time. We put out an
Okay.
episode a couple days ago. You need to go watch it.
Hold on. What are your thoughts? Write them in the comments. Who won this debate? Write them in the comments. What do you think of Ash? Write them in the comments. I also want to point something out real quick. We haven't really been able to shout them out, but I want to give a special thanks to Craig Beckett, who's been doing our thumbnails since the first episode.
Rest in peace.
He's done it. Oh, God damn it. He stepped away from doing our thumbnails, and we just want to say we really appreciate him and that he did a great job. I also want to thank Pimpin' Pete, who's been doing our thumbnails, and he's fucking fantastic. And what he's been doing is fucking awesome. Also want to thank Squatchin, who will be doing our tipster thumbnail. She's an artist, and
that's not announced yet.
Well, it's announced. Our next podcast will be on Tipster.
13th.
An interview with Tipster and another special guest as well. So tune in.
That totally hasn't been on here before.
But Squatchin is a wonderful artist who did an amazing job, and that thumbnail is fucking awesome. And I also want to thank Mishi, who's doing a thumbnail for us as well. And I also want to thank Nerdy John, who stepped up for this quick thumbnail that we needed for this surprise podcast. We want to thank him as well because he's already done the thumbnail. It's already up. It's ready to go. He worked fast. We needed something simple. He got it. So thank you to Nerdy John. Thank you to everyone who's been watching and liking our stuff. Make sure to watch our podcast, all that good stuff.
Listen, if you missed the last one, go back and watch it, please. Thanks. Lol.
Bro,
yeah, it's not doing too great. It's not doing too great.
It's been 2 days and we haven't even hit 200 yet.
Guys, you guys are getting sucked up into the views, man. I swear. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Guys.
Stop making excuses, Matt. You're the reason it did bad. You can't blame us. Don't gaslight us. Don't gaslight us.
It's like, oh my god, I'm happy. It's gonna hit 200 views soon. I'm gonna be happy about that. Listen, it's a podcast with nobody on it but us and someone else in the Discord who nobody knows. We didn't talk about anything remotely effective where it would get like Nicholas Diorio or Tipster or the Liana situation or anything big memes, like it was going to be a slow.
You know what, Matt?
Climb.
When this episode comes out, watch the numbers. Watch how it normally goes. All right. And then you tell me it wasn't because of the time.
Okay, yeah, I take responsibility. All right, and telling you to put the video out at 1 p.m. But that was a miscommunication on my part. All right. In reality, we probably should have just waited till Saturday to put it out. If I'm being honest with you.
Probably.
But we are not YouTubers. We learn from our mistakes, guys. Come on. And you know what is a bad idea? You know what is a bad idea? You know what it is? To bitch about views on a podcast. That is bad.
Watch it again. Start it over. Watch it all over again.
Okay.
Oh, it wasn't us bitching about views. It was us bitching because you wouldn't accept responsibility.
That's bullshit. That's complete bullshit, and you know it. I accepted responsibility.
Toxic.
Because you started.
Toxic.
No. We're not doing this. Beavers, you started blaming Toxic for it, and I said that was my call. I said that was my bad. All right, I literally said that.
If this podcast ever implodes, we gotta make sure we record it.
You said that you were the one that told him to do it.
Yes.
Right? But then following that, you didn't want to admit that the time was the problem.
No, I think the time is part of the problem, but there were probably other factors.
It took us 8 hours to hit 100 views.
Guys, It took Tears of the Spurgs was a slow climb as well.
Nah.
So you add in the fact that it was probably a bad time to upload. You add in the fact that we weren't talking anything interesting. Like, I'm just saying that if we would have uploaded our tipster video at that time, it would have more views than the last one right now. That's what I'm saying. All right. I'm not saying.
Have you ever heard a man cope harder?
Listen, all right. Don't type this in the comment. Actually, you know what? Reply to your other comment that you made about who won, and tell us: do you watch this for us or do you watch this for the guests?
I'm not saying
Thanks.
that. All right, you guys are gaslighting me again.
All right, see you later, gamers.
All right, thank you
have
for
a great-
watching. Have a great day. I don't have my sound pad open, so
I got you.
don't do it, Toxic.
I'm
Okay.